Hi, I am Karen. I am the owner of Grindstone Coaching. This is the third installment of Leading While Caregiving. It's meant to give a space for those of you who are caring for loved ones and at the same time leading teams or perhaps even leading companies. This is just a space where you can share your stories, a space where you can be connected to resources, and a space where you can share resources in your area. I am in Virginia, so you may be in another part of the United States or even the world, and you may be aware of some resources or that can be available to help those who are giving care, and maybe even shed light on a resource that is available to the one that they are giving care to. On my last video, I talked about siblings and load sharing. And today, I'm just going to talk about a conversation I had with a dear friend of mine. She is a C-suite executive, and I do respect her privacy, so I won't give names, but the scenario is what her and her siblings do. They, in my opinion, are an example of sharing the load when it's done well. Her loved one stays with one of the siblings and her spouse, but the other siblings will give respite or will allow for the sibling who is providing the majority of the care weekends, right? And they get a vacation, right? So that they have time for rest. They have time for one another, but they also know that their loved one is being cared for by someone who loves them. When you are caring for someone, yes, you want those times of respite, those breaks, those vacations, those times to do the things that you need to do for yourself. But at the same time, you want to know that your loved one is being cared for well. So in their instance, they are an example of sharing the load, and in my opinion, doing it well. Because she came to my heart after I made that video of the siblings who, sometimes not everyone shares the load equally, and sometimes it can't be done equally. The one who's doing the majority of the care may be the only one who lives in town. The other sibling could live across the country or in another country. So there are a myriad of reasons why one sibling is carrying the majority of the load for the caregiving. Other siblings or relatives are not close or not willing. It is so helpful to know where those organizations are, how to navigate those systems for getting the help that you need to take those breaks when you need them. And again, this is what this platform is for. We are culminating into a live video, which will air on August the 7th. I will have representatives from different organizations who will share their resources, and those who are caring for a loved one to share their story and what's working for them. And also, whether that's in person or if they have emailed me, I will share those stories as well. When when I think of the phrase "it takes a village," I don't think, um, for me, that doesn't just apply to raising children. For me, that applies to caring for our loved ones, caring for our neighbors, and caring for ourselves. It takes a village and a whole lot of prayer. And in these sessions, I am a Christian coach. So prayer is a big part of my life, my business, and what I do. And when I think about caregiving, I, this verse always comes to me where the Lord tells us to come to Him when we are burdened and heavy laden, and He will give us rest. We have but to ask. We ask Him to send those persons, those resources that will help us to get that rest that we need, to spend that time with Him, to spend that time with our spouses, and sometimes just to take a nap. So it gets, when you're in the thick of it, you can easily lose yourself. And that's not what we want here. We want you to, again, be the leader that God has called you to be. And in order to do that, we must take care of ourselves as well as we take care of our loved ones. This is the third installment of Leading While Caregiving. I look forward to going live with you all and just hearing your stories. That is all I have for now.